Hello, I welcome you all to today's lesson. And in this lesson, these are the questions that I gave you to answer. So let's see how we are going to practice through these questions. So this is question number 1, which is coming from ECZ paper 1 2022 for the internal candidates. So these questions are falling under variations. So let's see how we are going to answer these questions. So straight away, I'll go to the question. So the question is saying, y varies directly as the square of x and inversely as z. So this is a statement here. This statement, you need to understand it. This is an important statement that you need to get. So it is saying that y varies directly. So y, like this, y varies, you do this, varies directly as the square of x. So directly as the square of x, like this, and inversely as z. So I told you that whenever you just hear the word inversely, you just say over. Over what? Over z. So this is what we formed. We've interpreted the data that is given. After you interpret the data, you know that where there is this symbol varies, you're going to put equals and a k. So you're going to have y is equal to, you put a k there. So x squared over what? Over z. This is what you are going to do. So this is what we need to know. This is what we need to understand. So I want you people to know this. I want you to understand this. So if you were making a mistake, this is the correct way of doing these things. So you substitute now. Where you are told that y is what? The moment you just form this equation, the first question is always find the constant of variation, which is the value of k. This is the first question that you'll be given. So we just substitute now in the formula, or rather the equation that we formed. So y, the value of y is what? What is the value of y? Y is equal to 2. So where there is y, I put 2. So I can lab this now. I've used it to formulate this. So I'll say 2 is equal to, there is a k there, then I'll do this times, what is the value of x? X, I'm given that it is what? 4. So I'll say 4 in brackets, then squared. I do this. Then what is my z? My z is what? My z is 24. So I put my 24 there like this. So I put 1 there, then I cross multiply. So this is what you need to do. So after you do this, what is 24 times 2? That is 48, which is equal to 4 squared. 4 squared, what is the answer? 4 squared, 4 squared means 4 times 4, like this. So 4 squared means 4 times 4, which is a 16. 16 times a k that is there, so that is 16 what? 16k. This is what you need to do. After reaching here, you want to find the value of k. So what are you going to do? You are going to divide both sides by what? 16. Even there, you divide by what? By 16. So this and that cancelled. You say k is now equal to, what is your value of k? The value of k that you have now is, what is 48 divided by 16? It is what? It is 3. So you found that k is what? 3. So for some of you that answered, this is wonderful. So we've answered that k is what? 3. This is what you need to do. So after you find now the value of k, you can now substitute in the equation that you'll be given. So this is the equation which is given. Substitute there. K is what? K is 3. So I'm going to do this. So hope you've seen how to answer this, everything that I'm doing. So we are just revising through this. So where there is k, I put 3. So y is equal to, where there is k, I put 3. So x squared over z. This is the new equation that I'll be using to answer all the questions that I will be given. So I know that k is equal to what? K is equal to 3. That was the first question. The next question, we go to B. So B is our next question. So how can we answer B? B is saying we find the value of y. So we find the value of y. The question is find the value of y when x. So we find the value of y when x is equal to 9 and z is equal to 27, like this. So I've told you that we'll be using this equation to answer each and every question that is given. So where there is y, we are told to find y, which is equal to 3. What is x? You use what is given there. X is 9. So 9 squared, like that, over what is z? Z is 27. So you put your 27 there, which is equal to, so what is 9 squared? 9 squared is, so is this 3 times what? 3 times 9 times 9, that is 81. You say over what? Over 27. This is what you need to do. You say this. So you know that you are not using a calculator here. This is paper 1. We don't use calculators. So what you are supposed to do is that you are going to say 3 there, it is 1. Have you seen? 3 there, it is what? It is 9. 9, have you seen? Now, 9 into 81, you are going to get what? You are going to get a 9. So this is your answer. Y is equal to what? Y is equal to 9. So just conclude. Therefore, y is equal to what? Is equal to 9. This is your answer. So this is what you are supposed to do. So these are things that you need to understand. I want each and every person to get the concept and everything that I'm saying. So we found the value of y to be what? To be 9. This is the value of y, which is 9. Then we move to our last question, which is question C. This is 2022 ECZ paper 1. So part C now, which is our last question. So I'm not supposed to lab this equation because this is the one that is guiding me, helping me answer the question. So the question is saying, I find the values. It's saying find the values of x. So if you haven't written these questions, make sure that you write them. When y is equal to 8 and z is equal to 6. This is what we are given. This is the last question on this past paper that came in 2022. So these are variations, and variations don't miss in an exam. So make sure that you answer them. You know how to go about these. So even as I'm explaining, you need to get a full understanding. Those of you that have been under my teachings, we've done this, and this is the revision that we are doing publicly together. So let's try by all means to gain the information I gave you to answer these questions. So I just want to see that you've answered, and I want you to note the mistakes that you were making in answering the questions. So here, where there is y, I put 8. So this is 8 is equal to 3. X is the value I'm told to find, squared over, what is z? Z is 6. So I'm going to put my 6 there. So I say over 1 here, then I cross multiply. I need to cross multiply. So what is this is what? This is 8, 6 times 8. So I'm going to write that one, 8 times 6, which is equal to what? 3x squared. So I'm teaching you how to answer these even without using a calculator. So you are able to answer these even without using a calculator. So you divide both sides by 3. Even here you divide by 3. So 3 cancelled. You've remained with what? X squared, which is equal to, so 3, it is 1 there. 3 into 6, it is 2. 8 times 2, that is a 16. Have you seen the way I'm doing this? I'm not even using a calculator on this. This is, if you want, you can multiply there. After multiplying, then you divide by 3. There is no problem. You will still get the same answer. Then I told you that whenever you just see something like this, you introduce the square root. Even here, you introduce the square root on both sides of the equation. So after introducing the square root, you know that this square root and the square will cancel out. So you are going to have x is equal to, so each time you introduce the square root, you get 2 answers. So you are going to get positive or minus. What is the square root of 16? It is 4. Have you seen? So each time you find the square root of a number, you get 2 answers. So which means you say, therefore, x is equal to what? 4, or x is equal to negative 4. These are the answers, the positive one and the negative one. So you need to indicate all the answers. You are not just supposed to say x is equal to 4 because you found the square root of 16. No. So here, secondary school level or upper secondary, we get to know that whenever you are taught to find the square root, a square root should have 2 answers. So even if when I say square root of 9, it either you get 3 or negative 3. These 2 answers that you need to get. So let's make sure that we understand this part. We know this part very well. So these are things that you need to know. These are things that you need to understand. So make sure that you understand this. You know how to go about these questions. These are simple questions that you need to know and understand. So we've answered part C, where we said x is equal to 4 or what? Negative 4. Just like that. So let us now look at the next question. We look at the next question that came in 2017 paper 1 under ECZ. So this is the question from 2017 paper 1 ECZ. So the question is saying, it is given that t is equal to kv squared, where k is the constant of variation. So this is what you are told. Then the question is saying, use this information to find the first question value of k. You know that this value of k is called a constant of variation. This is what we know. So you are given the equation. So this question is simple. I believe this is very simple. So you are given t is equal to kv squared, like this. Then you want to find what? You want to find the value of k when you are given the table there. So the v here, these are the values for v. Look at t. These are the values for t. So which means that for you to answer the first question, you need to look at a column where you are given the value for v and the value for t. And the good part is that is this first one here. Have you seen this first one? You are given that v is 1, t is what? 4. You cannot get 5 and you get 36. I always tell you that these move in pairs. They move in pairs like this. This is how they get to move. They are in pairs. So when you get this one, you need to get the other one. So v is 1, t is 4. So where there is t, you put a 4, which is equal to k. What is your v? Your v is what? 1. So you say 1 and a square there. So 4 is equal to, what is 1 squared is 1. 1 times k, it is just k. Have you seen like this? So where you can now conclude, therefore, k is just equal to what? Is just equal to 4. This is the answer you've solved. So this is what you just need to do. This is the simple thing that you are supposed to do. So I believe you are able to follow everything that I'm doing. If you were making mistakes on how to answer these questions, I think this video will really help you to understand this better. Even as we write our quiz test, those of you under my online tuitions, you are going to do better. So on Friday, don't forget, we've got a quiz test on Friday. So let's not forget that. So these questions and the topics that I told you will come. So let's make sure that we keep studying. So we've answered the first question. K is equal to 4. K is equal to what? We found k is equal to 4. We move to the other question. The other question was, is saying value of a. They want you to find the value of what? The value of a. How can you find the value of a? So you know that this is the equation which is equal to k. There is what? It is saying kv squared. You know that your k is 4. So instead of writing it, just put a 4 there. So this is the equation that we are going to be using. So you check now. They want you to find the value of a. Where is a? A is there. So where there is t, you put a. Where there is v, you put 5. As simple as this. A is where? A is there. So this is what you are supposed to do. Where there is v, put 5. Where there is t, put a. So here you put a is equal to 4 times what is v? V, you put 5. So 5 squared, like that. I've told you that you are not supposed to use a calculator on this. So a is equal to 4 times, what is 5 squared? 5 times 5. 5 squared doesn't mean 5 times 2. No, this is 5 times 5, which is equal to 25. When you calculate there, you are going to have your answer as a is equal to what? 100. You get 100. This is your what? This is your answer. As simple as this. So a is equal to what? 100. We've answered even that question. So a is equal to what? 100. A is equal to 100. So a is equal to what? 100. Then we'll go to our last question. So the last question here, C, is telling us to find the values of B. So you can even tell they're telling you to find values of what? B. So before you even answer this question, me, I'm so sensitive, I can even discern that here, which means that the value of B is not 1. Values, meaning these values are 2 or more than 2. So I say, okay, for me to answer this question, where is the B? Where is the B? Where is the B? B is there. And its pair is down there. So I write the equation T is equal to 4V squared. Once you find the value of K, replace K in the equation, then you'll be using that equation to find the values of the equations that you are required to do. You just be using that same procedure. So here, where there is, have you seen here? This is what? This is V. So that is, this is V. Where there is V, you put what? B. Where there is T, you put 36. T, you put 36. So this is 36 is equal to 4. Then what is your V? Where there is V, you put what? B. So B squared. It is just a matter of substituting and understanding the question, because everything is simple here. You divide both sides by what? 4. So that you just remain with a B there. Divide both sides by 4. This and that cancelled. You are going to have B squared is equal to what is 36 divided by 4? You get what? You get a 9. You know what to do when you reach here. So the moment you just reach here, you can now put the what? The square root both sides. You introduce the square root both sides. So you know this square root and the square will cancel. You are going to have b, which is equal to plus or minus square root of 9, it is 3. So meaning that you can conclude and say, therefore, b is equal to 3 or b is equal to negative 3. This is what you are going to do. So these are things that you are supposed to do. This is what you need to know and understand. So those of you that failed this question, I believe you've seen how I've answered this. You just need to understand the concept very well. This is very simple. So this is very simple. You can understand this very well and properly. So just take your time and copy down these questions if you didn't copy, and be studying through and be revising through. Thank you so much.